good evening. You're listening to The Good Evening Show with your hosts, Henry Van Loon.
And Adrian Mann.
With tonight's guests, renowned historian Yannis Strndnvchvch, fighter pilot Gus Grim Reaper Grimmel, and pop sensations, the Ceviche twins. Tonight is September 1st, 2017, and you're listening to The Good Evening Show. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, hey, Adrian, how you doing tonight?
You know, I'm doing moderately well, yeah.
That's pretty good. I was kind of hoping you'd say, like, yeah, I'm really feeling it tonight, because...
What am I meant to have been feeling?
You know what? I should rephrase that. I'm not supposed to be placing my expectations on other people. That's unfair. What I meant to say is I'm accept that you're feeling moderately... whatever crap you said.
Right, exactly.
So I'm excited. We got a good show for today.
I'd like you. Can you prove it?
Well, yeah, we have renowned historian Yannis Strndnvchvch. You know what? Sorry, I had a Strndnvchvch in my throat. Of course, we have renowned historian Yannis Strndnvchvch on the show. We have ace fighter pilot Gus Grimmel. I guess his call sign is Grim Reaper. So that's pretty exciting. I've never met a fighter pilot before, Adrian.
I've never met a Grim Reaper before.
And I know you're excited about this, Adrian. We have the pop sensations. The Ceviche twins are on the show today for a live in-studio performance.
Oh, crap. That was today?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to paint my face.
It's not too late. You still could.
Okay. Well, maybe at the commercial.
Yeah, so they'll be here performing something from the new record, which is exciting.
Do you think we have time to give them 2 songs, maybe?
No.
Okay.
But, we'll see. So why don't we bring out our renowned historian, Yannis Strndnvchvch.
Okay, wait, before he comes on here, can you say that one more time?
What, Yannis Strndnvchvch?
Yannis Strndnvchvch.
Almost. It's Yannis. Yannis.
Yannis.
Yes.
Yannis
Strndnvchvch.
Strndnvchvch.
Yannis Strndnvchvch.
Sure, we'll get there.
Okay. So our next guest is a renowned historian. He has some earth-shattering, his words, not mine, information, recent discoveries, and publications that might change the way that you, our listeners, think about history. So let's please bring out renowned historian Yannis Strndnvchvch.
Welcome to the Good Evening Show.
Welcome,
Good
Yannis.
evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So...
Wait, before we go, can I say something?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I just like to say how big fan of show. I love show. I like the one with animals, and they come out and they kill animals. Very, very funny. I like. This is good.
Oh, yeah, that was actually a really dark moment. We had a lot of petitions after that happened.
Yes, I like.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I guess that's good.
It's very good.
You didn't have to smell all the dead animals that were...
Well, in my country, dead animal is very normal smell.
Now, just for our listeners, can you remind us what country you're from?
Yes, different country. Yes.
Oh, different from the country where we are.
Yes, this is true. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's probably enough information for our listeners. Anyway, so I'm hoping you could tell us about some of your latest discoveries in the field of history.
Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. I find it problems that sometimes problems seem more like problems and sometimes seem less like problems. And in new exhibit I put out, turns out that problems you think are maybe not so problem. For example,
okay, I'm following you.
History program is mostly like when you go kill lots of people is bad.
Of course, that's terrible.
Not so much.
Oh, okay.
Turns out that I do lots of research. Mm-hmm. A new exhibit coming to it's called Brick Museum.
The Brick Museum.
Yes, Brick Museum.
Okay.
It is in what is block is next to it's in Chicago. It's next to Logan Square. What is block next to Logan Square?
The neighborhood next to Logan Square in Chicago.
Yes.
That's not Wicker Park?
No, that's not sound right.
It's north. That's not like Roscoe Village.
Maybe. Anyways, Brick Museum. So it's new exhibit for Brick Museum. And what I do is I examine lots of people who go kill lots of people. And it turned out that most have good reasons. So it's not always bad.
So you're interviewing people who've killed people
In history.
okay.
Yes.
And you're saying that this is maybe we're exaggerating?
No, it's very accurate how killing goes. Problem is, sometimes maybe have it coming.
Oh.
Do you have an example? Or?
I don't know if we should really.
Like Genghis Khan, best example.
Sure.
Okay.
He killed
Genghis Khan,
lots
horrible
of people.
man. Killed lots of people.
Lots of people. But he did make good road.
So he made.
You mean? Wait a second.
Yes.
So
So maybe we give a little bit of time to, hey, thanks Genghis for road. So I'm just trying to point out things that bad people do that do goods. Also, problems that you not think are problems are maybe not problems.
Okay, so it sounds like are you more like examining the ethical implications of leaders who do maybe good public works while also committing mass genocide?
if I may, are you actually just studying bricks? Like the bricks that he makes to build the roads? Is that what?
Let's put in a word, yes. In another word, not at all. So here's the thing. Sometimes things like bricks, good, right? But problem is, guys who use bricks also kill million people. So, if you think about, okay, let's give different example.
Please.
Pol Pot. Do you know Pol Pot?
Yeah, of course. I minored in history.
Okay. So,
He's
Pol Pot,
another bad man. Killed a lot of individuals.
Sure.
yes, but make great rice dish.
Okay.
So,
Like,
maybe you think next time you have a rice dish, hey, Pol Pot, it's bad you kill all these people, but it is good you give good rice dish. Do you see what I mean?
sure. It sounds like you're.
So let me give a different example. Let me say Tsar. It's bad Tsar in Russia. I'm not from Russia.
No.
However, family long time ago affected. Take my name, Strndnvchvch. There's no vowels.
Yeah, it's. I noticed that.
There's no vowels because long time ago, great dictator come in and say, hey, you not can have vowels in your names. You do not deserve them. So they take vowels away. That is why name Strndnvchvch have no vowels.
So you're saying your ancestors had vowels that were taken away by a cruel despot?
Yes, true, but good news is it's a shorter name by a lot.
It's true. It almost looks like a personalized license plate. I noticed.
So
I'm sorry. Is that offensive?
I think it's a little.
Yes, very.
It's a little culturally insensitive.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
I think in problem in America, you don't understand the dictator's way of life. Dictators have lots of vowels.
Ah, yes.
Sure.
Strndnvchvch.
Yeah.
So many vowels.
Oh, it's mostly vowels. if you
That
think
he
about it.
great dictator.
Well, you've got me thinking, Yannis, that maybe I'm related to some like cruel mass murderers.
It's truth of matter. Most people is related to mass murder.
Why is that?
Well, truth of matter is there's not many people left after mass murder, so only people left despots. So they repopulate country full of little despots. This is true. This is actual true story.
Wow.
Andrew Jackson have giant block of cheese
Okay.
in White House.
Wow.
And then he say, doors open, everyone come in, have cheese.
Wow.
That was way to connect with public.
Just wow. Cheese was a delicacy in the early 19th century. Is that correct?
So next time you think, hey, cheese so plentiful, thank you, Andrew Jackson. Culture changed very much, right? So, for example, Little Mermaid.
Great film. Yeah, classic.
Guess what did to crab market? Crash.
Oh.
No one want to eat crab because they like singing under the seas. It's huge impact to American culture. But guess what go through the roof? Octopus.
Oh.
Oh, really? Is that because it was?
Ursula.
Oh, I see.
Yes. See, problem is, good guys, bad guys movies drive economical factors in the United States.
That's fascinating because, as far as I know, that might be the only film where it's ethical to eat the villain. This makes a lot
What
of
about Aladdin? I think the enemy of that one was a class system.
Good point.
So, anyways, new exhibit, Brick Museum, is about maybe what you think is problem is not problem because his problem is not what you think problem is.
So, am I to understand that this includes the exhibit about the good side of mass murderers?
It's not good side. It's
Okay.
just right. And let's not get
East side.
crazy. Let's not
Maybe
get crazy.
let me think of a more academic way to put it. Mass murder is maybe not so bad.
Well, when you put it like that, it makes sound crazy. But when mass murder, sometimes there is effects of mass murder that's not so bad. So, personal favorite Disney film, probably Hunchback Notre Dame, because it illuminates mass murder of gypsies.
I imagine it has something to do with the gargoyles from that film.
No, his problem is lots of gypsies in Paris. You've seen movie.
Of course.
It's true. The problem is to get rid of the gypsies. Too many.
I know.
No, this is accurate. This is, let's put it this way, justified mass murder. Because
Wow.
gypsies are absolutely reprehensible.
I just want to take one more moment with our listeners. We don't want to justify mass murder of anyone.
Except for the gypsies.
No. We definitely we have good ratings among our gypsy listeners, and we'd like to maintain that.
But they steal your things.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Yannis Strndnvchvch, we'd like to thank you for coming on to the show. And you can catch his exhibit on problems, and maybe they're not problems, they're problems so much as you think they're problems, at the Brick Museum in that one neighborhood that's north of Logan Square, but it was not the two that I mentioned.
Did he say north? I believe he just said next to.
He did. That's probably why. If you're having trouble finding the Brick Museum, that's probably for the best. After a short break, we will have ace fighter pilot Gus Grim Reaper Grimmel.
From the people that brought you the wedding planner and Rumble in the Jungle 2, Fist Fight in the Bronx, comes an all-new comedy classic. What happens when two guys
You're not my dad.
That's not your fish.
argue about whose dad is who and whose fish is whose? When one goes down to the dock one day,
Hey, man, what are you doing down the dock?
a fisherman
I'm a fisherman.
stops him from fishing off of his boat.
That's not your boat.
Yes, it is. I'm a fisherman.
But little did he expect, a genie would come along.
Ooh, I'm a genie. I'm gonna grant you 3 wishes.
Can I wish for more wishes?
You can't.
And sometimes, when two people get an apartment together with a genie, it gets a little wacky.
Told not to leave this lamp just sitting around.
I'm so glad you're not my dad.
2 men, a genie, and a fish. Coming next fall.
This film is not yet rated.
And welcome back to the Good Evening Show. This is your host, Adrian Wolfman. My co-host has stepped out of the room for the moment, but I'm excited to welcome our next guest, legendary and vastly well-honored and decorated war hero, Gus Grim Reaper Grimmel. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio here.
Hey.
Fighter pilot, I understand.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
I'm very pleased to have you here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Now, tell me a little something about your career as a
Sure.
pilot.
Well, I should, I've been flying for, like 20 years now.
20 years, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how the community has changed and how people have, have come and gone, and how just, the technology has changed a lot. It's a great time to be a fighter pilot, and I'm happy to be part of this whole community.
So you have been flying planes for 20 years, so I imagine...
Well, I'm a sim pilot, yeah.
A sim as in simulation.
Yeah, it's like they don't like to say this, but you might think of it as like video games, the kind of flying I like to do.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is this for like a military program? It's
Yeah, it's part of a. Well, no, it's not. Well, kind of. I mean, it's not. We're part of like a gaming guild that's pretty popular online.
Oh, that's fascinating. A guild for is it a particular kind of game, or is it just simulation fighters?
Yeah,
of all
most of
kinds?
us are flying on Air Force 95. It's a pretty great. It's technically, I know it's like it's only over a 20-year-old game, and it probably sounds strange, but it's mostly the best simulation that you can find. And
And 95, is that the year that
yeah,
game was
this
released?
particular game came out in 1995, and
Oh,
it
sure,
takes
I
some mods and some updates to patches to get the game to work. But it's the best up to date game that they have for us to be, flying on.
And so let me just get this straight, because here I have decorated military officer.
That's correct. Yes,
What rank are you in the military?
I'm a general in our squadron.
A general.
That's yeah.
That's impressive.
It's technically the highest rank you can achieve.
I've heard a little bit about esports. So this is a new emerging trend.
No,
listeners.
this is not really. Those guys are nerds.
And what would you consider? What you and your guild members?
We are warriors. We go out there and we don't know what we're gonna face.
It must take
It's kind of hard to talk about, Adrian.
must take terrific bravery sometimes.
You learn when you've been flying as long as I have that you don't want to get close with your wingmates because you never know who's not going to come back from a battle. So you
and I
have
imagine,
to,
when the holidays come, they go on trips and things, and you don't fly with each other.
Yeah, sometimes the guy earns his R&R. It's really difficult because you go up in the skies and you don't know who's going to come back. And you just learned not to make friends with other pilots.
Well, I'm not much of a gamer myself, but
Me neither.
In this simulation, as you put it, don't you just respawn? I believe is the word when your avatar dies within the game.
That's a common misconception, Adrian. The way this game works is you really just get... It's just like real life. You get one life, and then you're sent to the observation section where you just watch everyone else fly, sometimes to their doom. And you really want to avoid that as a pilot.
Sure, and of course you want to stay in the sky, like all good pilots.
It's really hard. You don't know what you're going to face, and you learn to turn off your human emotions so that you're, at this point, Adrian, I'm more machine than man.
Yeah. Wow.
It's hard to talk about.
I've
seen a lot of great pilots come and go.
So
And sometimes they just don't come back. They never come back online.
this is incredible perspective. You're hearing it here first on the Good Evening Show. If I have a few more questions,
Sure.
left in the tank.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you like that?
It's
Okay.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's hotkeys for all that stuff. If you want to drop your external tanks, that's Control X.
There is a tournament coming up. I understand.
That's
but
true.
I'm going to leave that for the end of the segment.
Sure.
Just tease that a little bit. You have recently got some criticism for some remarks you made. I thought it was in the public eye, but apparently it's on the forum of this guild that I'm now
Shakespeare
understanding.
who said all the world's a stage.
Who said that?
That was William Shakespeare.
I'm sorry, one more time.
William Shakespeare.
Okay. And so on the forum, what was the complication that came up? There was a bit of I heard a war, a flame war, if you will.
We were trying to schedule a scrimmage with a fellow. We call him a gaming guild, but we were really trying to scrimmage against some friendly foes.
And for those who don't know, scrimmage is?
These are like war games. So we have some fellow gamers that are pilots that are, they're not part of our core squadrons, but they're still active online in this particular game. And so we were trying to schedule some melees and some skirmishes with them. And I suggested that they be North Korea. And it's just, it's 2017, and we're just trying to stay relevant.
I understand why that would be controversial, though.
Nobody wants to be a bad guy, Adrian. That's what's so difficult.
Sure, and I don't think anybody wants to be North Korea right now, so.
I sure don't. I was asked to resign my post as squadron commander.
Wow. It's tragic. After 20 years.
I said no.
Oh.
I designed the webpage for that squadron. I'm the moderator of the forum for that squadron. I wasn't about to.
And feel free to plug the name of the squadron if you'd like.
We're the 3rd Fighter Squadron. We're part of the 171st wing of what's called the online wing.
And
of the combined forces.
That is Pilot 95. What was it called?
That's
Fighter 95?
It's called, you're speaking about Air Force 95. And today it's the only game where you can simulate vertical takeoff and landing. There's lots of people who are trying to upload different mods for different aircraft. That's really not what the nature of this game is all about. Okay, did you bring me on the show to talk about some amateur mods for this wonderful, wonderful simulation? Or did you bring me out here to talk about my expertise as a warrior?
Thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thanks, and I just want to say, if you're interested in joining our guild, you can join us on airforce95.biz/squadron/do_you_want_the number 2_join.html.
Well, finally tonight, I would like to bring up very briefly, you have an upcoming tournament where you're getting together at Game Explosion,
yes, that's
Solo
true.
Cup, Cafe.
Yes,
what's the name of this place?
That's the name of the place. And what we're doing is we're having the Champions League. It's the best of the people in the Midwest when it comes to flying Air Force 95.
And how many people are going to be in the tournament?
6.
And do you have any rivals or anything you'd like to say past competitors?
The thing I like to say is I like to let my flying do my talking for me. But I will say to our rivals, say what you want. But once we get into the sky, you'll be eating my Sidewinder.
Bold words here. You heard it first. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you so much.
Today.
This was really fun.
And I'll check up in a little while to see the results of that tournament. Good luck.
Yeah, if people are interested in looking up our group, they can join at airforce95.biz/do_the letter U_want_the number 2 spelled out TWO_join_. And there's no question mark because that doesn't work with HTML, so it's just .html after that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Can you post that hyperlink? Or?
Yeah, we will put it up on the website if we can.
Cool, thanks.
We will be back after this break with the Ceviche Twins pop group when the Good Evening Show returns.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, shut the door. You're letting all the air conditioner out.
Okay, sorry.
And why do you let the dog outside so much?
He likes it out there.
Who let the dog out?
We interrupt the Good Evening Show with some breaking news. We cut to our man in the street, Adrian Wolfman. Adrian, can you tell me what's going on out there?
Hello, Henry, can you hear me
We
okay?
hear you. Yeah, Adrian, we hear you just fine. What's going on out there?
Yeah, I had to come out here. There's some commotion on the street. I just, sir, you were here when it all started. What did you see?
Well, I'll tell you, I was going around the corner, and all of a sudden I saw that thing coming up there. I was like, dang, son.
Yes, it appeared to just come right up.
Adrian,
the
what
side.
are you seeing out there?
Oh boy, it's hard to explain. I mean,
Okay, can you try? This is radio.
sure. It looks like some sort of creature, large webbed feet, climbing up the side of a building. It's
Oh, my.
enormous.
Okay.
It's enormous.
You have somebody there who witnessed its arrival.
I did. I had 8 arms. I swear,
Yes.
by Mondays and Tuesdays, I had 8 arms.
It had 8 arms.
8 of them.
8 armed. It is. I'm now getting reports that it is indeed
Okay,
an 8-armed
listeners,
creature.
we're getting word here of an 8-armed, web-footed creature climbing buildings in parts of downtown. Adrian, what's the status?
Let me see. I'm just going to go around the corner here. Oh, dear Lord, there it is. It's right there on the side of the building. I'm going to get in now and see if I can get an exclusive with the creature.
All right, now, listeners, I'm seeing photos of this, and it's hard to believe.
I'm just going to climb up on this.
Okay, be careful, Adrian. Do be careful down there. Can you tell us what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just climbing up the fire escape. Hold on a second.
That sounds like a bad idea, Adrian.
Excuse me, creature. Building creature. Yes. I can't help but notice you're just causing kind of a big scene. You're freaking a lot of people out. Well, first of all, my name's Adrian. What's your name?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. It's a pleasure to have you in our city. Is this your first visit to Chicago?
Yes.
Adrian, what's going on?
It appears to be a gentleman alien creature from another planet, perhaps from inside the hollow earth beneath our feet. I'm trying to ascertain what it needs or what it's looking for right now.
Well, looking for just a little bit of a lover. Just some simple, sweet love.
It appears to be looking for what we all look for, Henry. It's looking for love.
Adrian,
on
is
this
it
bag.
clear whether or not this creature understands the importance of communicating its needs to its lover?
You know, I think he's fine. He seems like he's doing just fine. I'm going to head on back in the studio. I mean, this is probably going to just work itself out.
Yeah, it sounds like it's no big deal. Thank you, Adrian. We're going to go back to the show.
And that's all it takes.
I can't get this off.
That's what she said.
You're not supposed to get it off. It's part of you now.
What's that product called again?
Well, it's Sensaflex Paste.
Sensaflex
And if
Paste.
you haven't heard of it before, you're going to hear about it a lot in the future.
Sensaflex Paste. Available in stores near you.
Not recommended.
Sensaflex! It's from the future.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to the Good Evening Show. Good evening.
Good evening.
We're really excited to introduce our next guest. This is a first for the Good Evening Show. We have international pop sensations, the Ceviche Twins.
Yes, the Ceviche Twins. It's a real honor to have them here.
Listeners, I wish you could see the spectacle that the Ceviche Twins have put together. This is
Yeah,
radio, and they've put together this visual extravaganza that I mean, you can see photos on our blog post later, but it's quite a sight.
It's amazing. Now the Ceviche Twins, it's brothers that hail from, is it Germany? Am I reading this right?
Nice.
Yeah, that's correct.
How long have you guys been professional musicians?
It's, Gunther here.
I've been not as long as you.
Well, yes, I taught him everything he knows.
Yeah, I think I've been for, 3 months, 4 months?
Well, Gunther and myself, I am dater, and we sing a lot in the shower.
Sure.
We grew up in poor families.
It's same show. It's very different.
So
Conserve water.
this might be a dumb question to ask, but are you guys? I mean, you're the Ceviche twins. Are you your brothers? Are you actually twins?
Oh, yes.
In the word.
In a way. In what way?
No, in the word.
In a word. In
In
the
the
word.
word, in the way.
And what's the word?
Nah, no.
No.
No, not in that way.
The word is no. You're not twins. Okay.
Not in the way you're thinking.
So who's older, Gunter or Dieter?
I'm the older brother.
By how much, if I may ask?
By a few days, maybe an hour or so.
A few days, maybe an hour. Okay. I tell you what.
It's like 3 days and an hour.
Yeah.
3 days.
Our parents died, both of them,
Wow.
during childbirth. So we grew up in orphanage.
The father was so upset about the childbirth.
So your mother died in childbirth and your father.
Yes, and I also think we should mention our brother Scott is also here. He plays the keyboard.
Gunter, Dieter, and Scott.
Scott, yes.
Is Scott? Scott is he a triplet?
Wait,
Not
Okay.
in the word.
In a word, and what is the word?
no. It's,
Okay,
it's
no.
The
No.
word is no.
Okay, so he's just a sibling, a brother.
Well,
if
in
you
the
will.
word.
In a word, he's a brother.
Well, we came here because we are doing a American tour.
Okay, sure. And I don't want to keep the listeners from hearing your beautiful music, but how is the tour going so far?
What do you think, Dito?
That's a difficult
I would say
question.
it's not good.
No. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's a problem with the bugs.
The
Bugs.
bugs are very frequent. We don't like the bugs.
Are you talking about like insects, or are you talking about like technical issues?
Scott, what do you say?
Scott is...
They're mostly insects.
What's it called, Michelle? In German,
Scott talks to bugs. He brings them back to the trail, and then they breed.
in Germany we call it Unsteckenfeinster.
Unsteckenfeinster.
I don't know what the word is here. So.
Is the word insects, maybe?
There is no English translation.
bugs, they are... Du Spreckenheim.
Is it okay if Scott smokes in here?
I'm sorry,
Actually,
nobody
we-
can smoke in the studio. I'm so sorry about that.
Normally, we don't allow any of
He's
anybody's smoke.
okay. Okay, he's got to stop smoking that in here.
He just actually lit up another cigarette. Okay.
Can somebody? I don't speak German.
Yeah, he's very defiant.
He seems to be. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. I think I've had enough of this conversation. You guys are really great musicians. So why don't we just get to why you're here? And that's not bugs. That's music.
You want us to turn it up and turn it out?
And turn it out.
Brothers, a 1, a 2, a 3. Do you want to split?
I like to swing.
Do you like to split?
I like to swing.
Sometimes I go to the garden, I go to Zwinkelblech.
Thinking for Unsteckenstein.
But I get lost in the garden for 3 nights.
Say, boy.
I have no water, I have no food. I'm in the garden, I'm lost.
Lost in the garden.
The crinkle mouse comes out from the ground. I say, come back now.
I'm lost in the garden.
Yeah.
Lost in the garden. Lost in the garden.
Oh look, I think I see a bat. The bat doesn't like me much.
Doesn't like me much.
I look around for a stick. I cannot find a stick.
It's lost in the garden.
Oh, so yeah. And then we...
Everybody knows I'm the cat. I am the first one on the block who knows how to roll. I am the only one that knows how to roll. Nobody knows how to roll.
He's lost
Is infected all the time. Everyone is lost in the garden.
Lost in the garden.
Ich steht am fallen Door. Ich kann patschen in the window. Ja, ja. I'm lost in the garden. Ja, ja, und ja. I'm lost in the garden.
That was wonderful. That was the hit single "Lost in the Garden"
It's about the bugs.
by Ceviche Twins.
It's about the big lost in the garden.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is that song about?
What do you say?
We went to, what do you call it in New York? It's the basketball. What is that called?
Like Madison
Yes,
Square
we were
Garden.
lost there for several hours.
You were
The sports center.
you were lost in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Oh, this is part of what's been so difficult about your American tour, I imagine.
And I look around, I see no stick. It was very frightening.
It's true. It confuses many people because it's not actually a square. It's a true
Turns
fact.
out it was not square at all.
So what's next? You're here in Chicago. You've come from New York. What's next on your tour, Ceviche Twins?
Yeah, we're going to Mississippi.
I believe the word is Biloxi. Biloxi? Is that how you say it?
Yes,
Biloxi.
it's true. It's correct.
It says Mississippi.
I actually I don't know, but it sounds great. It sounds like it's going to be
Very good.
great. And
You come to our show. You come and dance with us.
yeah, is there a chance
You
I could?
come and dance on the side with us.
I mean, I don't like to brag, but I think I'm a pretty good dancer. Check this out, huh?
Oh,
Is
it's
this?
good. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
good.
like-
It's good
It's
dancing.
like, what is the word?
Not good.
Oh,
Uncle dance.
oh. Well,
Do you wear leather?
wow. So once again, I'd like to thank our guest for today, renowned historian Yannis Strndnvchvch, ace sim fighter pilot Gus Grim Reaper Grimmel, and let's give it up one more time. Give him a round of a hand. We don't have a whole lot of people here in the studio,
All right.
but let's give him a hand.
Ceviche
Top
Twins.
Sensations of Ceviche Twins.
Ceviche Twins, even though there's 3 of them, and I don't think they're twins.
You can get their new single "Lost in the Garden," and you can see them in Biloxi next week. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on the Good Evening Show. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
A Jam Gina production.
Fucked it up.